thank you for that live update. We have a story right now just into our newsroom. It appears the Miami Open tennis tournament will move to Key Biscayne. Will move from Key Biscayne to Hard Rock Stadium in 2019. According to our news partners of the Miami Herald, Miami-Dade commissioners approved a compromise this morning to allow the move. With a unanimous vote, the county commission endorsed a deal between County Mayor Carlos Jimenez and sports conglomerate IMG to move the Miami Open to the home of the Miami Dolphins after one more year at the county's Crandon Park tennis complex on Key Biscayne. We'll have much more on this story, which of course so many people are interested in, coming up on CBS 4 News at 5 o'clock later.
Hi, my name is Jonathan Skinner, and this is a short video looking at the start of a research project called Renovation on the Rock. It is part of an EventRights mobility project, and it has collaborators at the George Mason University in Washington and Rosen College in Florida. What I would like to do here is to just give you a short taster about this project, and I will be giving you live updates as the project progresses. So as you see, I am here. I'm in London. I am in a pre-fieldwork, pre-research mode. I am packing up my research equipment. I am finalizing the negotiations on my research ethics and getting the final seal of approval. I am trying to look at the accommodation and subsistence, the car hire, and pack up all my bags and check what the COVID precautions and the latest entry requirements are for the US. ESTAs, COVID jabs, addresses for accommodation, insurance, medical, etc. So here I'd like to tell you a little bit more about what Renovation on the Rock actually is. It is a research project looking at the place of the major sporting event stadium, the Hard Rock Stadium in Miami's Florida, the place where they host not just the Miami Dolphins football team or baseball, but also now the Miami Open competition since 2019. They also have Formula One racing going through and around the stadium, and they are looking to have the FIFA World Cup being hosted in the stadium. So it's a really interesting place, and I'm interested in its position in the wider environment and how a stadium maintains its currentness, how it continually revamps and renovates its program and what it offers to the local community and also to the tourists in terms of the major sporting event, the Miami Open in this particular context, but also in terms of the experiences that visitors get and how this sporting event shifts and differs from other tennis tournaments. It is referred to as the winter Wimbledon to sort of contrast with the summer Wimbledon in London, just around the corner, funnily enough, from where I live. It is a place that contrasts to the US Open, which is a more cloudy, more intensely focused, darker space in which the tournaments take place. The Miami Open is open, light, vibrant, has lots of neon signs, have lots of Latin bands playing, and has a more sort of tropical feel and vibe to the competition. But it wasn't always that way, and it's a shift that has had to take on board certain compromises. So I'm interested in how the Miami Open moved around the city of Miami since the 1980s. As a competition, it started there in 1985 in Delray Beach, up in the north of the city, and then across to Boca Raton, before locating itself from 1986 to 2019 in one of the keys to the east of the sort of downtown parts of Miami. Across a freeway, beautiful palm trees. I've never been, I've just seen the imagery, to an island, a sort of national park environment that the public can enjoy. And there's sort of some state. There's a sunken sort of stadium, and you can see the tennis up close. You can cheer for your fans, and it's been a very popular place for South American tennis players to sort of get their support base from this sort of American Riviera city and its Latin inhabitants. Miami is considered to be a city of enclaves. There are different ethnic groups. There are places of huge disparities of wealth, and it's interesting how the hospitality industry engages with this transition as well. The labor workforce and how they feel about the industry and the short-term contracts, the nature of volunteers coming in to work in the major sporting events is complicated and is not always resolved. And there have been court cases about the relocation of the competition. So I'm hoping to go there, and I'm going to visit the various locations, tap into the local tennis community, interview people, qualitative research project, looking principally at this relocation and these movements and shifts, this sort of socio-economic history of the Miami competition, and then also looking at sort of key questions like incorporating ideas about diversity, equality, and inclusion, and how Latinidad employment, hospitality, and renovation fandom, how they've impacted upon this competition, in particular in the Hard Rock Stadium, and whether or not it's disconnected from the wider city. There is a Guardian journalist who has written about this relocation and wrote about it as it was taking place. So I think Steve Brenner, and he suggested that the competition went from being very obviously tropical and marketed around notions of Latinidad, Latinness, and as you drove out to this island with the palm trees and the sun and the sets for the evening games, it was very much in a different world to New York and other tournaments, Indian Wells, and it's moved now to a place in the sort of center west of the city that's next to a freeway, and he suggests that it could be a tournament that takes place in any part of the city. So is it a dexterous move that is successfully carrying with the times, or is it an example of commercialization and gentrification, resting upon this sort of tropicalization of the location? What is the stadium's hosting of the Miami Open doing for the wider city and involving the city? Find out in the next broadcast. Thank you for listening.